headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create amazing actual relationships. Open phones here. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Rachel Cruz, #1 best-selling author, Ramsey personality, and my daughter is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Cody is in New York to start off this hour. Hey, Cody, how are you?
Hi, Dave. It's great to be on the phone with you.
You too,
great
sir.
Great to finally meet you. I've been watching you for a little while now.
Well, thank you. How can we help?
So I had a question about, I recently put myself back a couple baby steps by going and getting myself a truck loan. But now a girlfriend of mine, of course, not married. So, I know roughly where I'm already at thinking, especially watching you. She wants me to finance a car for her. I was thinking if she comes up with a large down payment, I'm in pretty decent financial shape myself.
No,
so
you have a truck
maybe
payment.
If she could No, I know. That's true. So I was thinking if I could go through, if I should finance the vehicle for her or not, because it's a really big deal to her. Obviously, she has a vehicle now, so in my eyes, she doesn't need one. I went and got it inspected for her, so I know it's good for at least another year. I'll get your take on it.
Cody, if you were to guess what we would say, what would your guess be?
Of course not. I mean, I have my own truck loan, and I'm
here's what sucks, Cody.
$4,000 a month toward it to get it paid off. So,
I know. So here's the deal: is like it is #1, just taking on debt in general is a risk, and then #2, when you put your name on someone else's debt, that's a massive risk. And we have had
even more risk.
Yeah, just so many calls. Okay, so do you want us to help give you a good argument to give to your girlfriend? Is this part of why you called?
Yeah, that would be great. I've went over the points of, interest rates are higher right now. I have my own, I've had the conversation with her, like, can you wait until I get my truck paid off? I'm expecting to get my truck paid off. I financed $33,400 for it. I've made literally
Cody,
2 payments on it.
Cody,
and
what do you make?
I make about $120 a year.
What does she make?
She's making about $800 a week. You can bring home.
Okay, and how long y'all been dating?
Yeah, like 4 months.
Okay. And how old are you two?
I just turned 30, and she just turned 19.
Okay. You just described a sugar daddy.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Yeah, she doesn't make any money. She's 19 years old, and she wants you to go buy her a truck.
No, a car probably. I don't think she's going to drive a truck. Yeah.
Rachel, you're going to crawl out from under the desk now. The
car.
Yeah. So you make a lot of money. She doesn't make any. So, #1, I don't know that there's an explanation for her that's going to satisfy her. Okay?
Yeah.
Because she's not going to be loving a no of any kind, no matter how logical or sweet or well crafted. Okay? So let's just be prepared for the fact that she ain't going to like this. Okay? #2, if you were my son, who is just a tiny bit older than you, I would knock a noggin on your head if you did this, because a lot of reasons. #1, what Rachel said, you're going to get yourself in a mess. #2, of course, we teach you not to borrow money. Of course, we're not going to teach you to borrow money for for yourself even after you finally get your truck paid off, because it was a mistake to go in debt for the truck in the first place. We're going to stop doing debt so that you can become wealthy making $120,000 a year. Okay? So we're going to take debt off the table. We're just going to take that. There's no explanation for it, Cody. We're taking debt off the table. You called us. You knew what we were going to say. So, but here's the biggest problem, all right? Relationally, this feels like it's going to be a strain if you don't do it. And I will tell you from having coached folks for 30 years that if you do this, you're going to put a bigger strain on the relationship because you're changing the tone, the flavor of the relationship from two independent adults seeking a high quality connection to now one is dependent upon the other.
Right.
And it changes dinner.
Meaning her being dependent on me.
Yeah. Because and now you're somewhat dependent upon her, because if she doesn't pay the payment, making $800 a week, shock, then you're going to end up having to pay the payments, shock. Okay, and then there's going to be another strain on the relationship, and so you're going to do damage to whatever the quality of this relationship is. It's going to get worse if you do this.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest reason not to do it. The second biggest reason not to do it is there is no scenario that turns out positive out of this. All the scenarios are negative.
And I think too, Cody, I would be curious on the relational side, how she takes the no. Probably reveals a lot about her, right? And the kind of person you want to be in a relationship with.
What she's really doing here. Yeah.
But if she's willing to learn and she's like, okay, so why won't you co-sign? You're like, well, because of this and this and this, and I want to get out of debt. I want to do, you know what I mean? And you may teach her something new, which is great. I'm not saying she's like a bad person, but y'all's value systems might be very, very different. And then the other thing that would happen too, if you co-sign and she loses a job, or she suddenly decides, oh, I'm going to go on a fun girls trip and spend money, and oh shoot, I just can't make my car payment this month. And you're thinking, you just went on a girls trip and you're not going to pay your payment, and now I'm stuck with, you're going to start analyzing everything that she buys and purchases. And so it just, the whole thing, it's very messy.
Yeah,
so
let's be real clear. It won't be co-signing, because there's no bank in the world going to sign her up for anything.
No, that's probably.
She's living below the poverty level. So you're going to own a car with a car payment. And then you're going to have to go pick up your car from your ex-girlfriend when you break up. This is going to be awkward!
And then you're going to feel terrible if you broke up with her one day, and then you have to go and be like, I need my car back. She's like, I don't have a car. How am I going to get to work? And now you're dependent. You're stuck. I mean, it's just, no good plan. But Cody, I appreciate you calling.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah. I sympathize with where you are, and you're a nice guy trying to think about this.
Yes.
You did call the people who tell people not to borrow money so that they can become wealthy and outrageously generous and ask to borrow money, period. Bad idea. Number two, doing that with people or for people that you're not married to, bad idea. Number three, when the person you're doing it for is completely broke and makes no money, super bad idea. So let's just keep adding on to this. This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today, #1 best-selling author, and my daughter. In my opinion, it's never too soon to get in the Christmas spirit. As a matter of fact, if we just did Christmas year-round, it'd suit me fine. I love generosity. I think generosity is amazing. I love Christmas. I love Christmas traditions, all the old songs in particular. And we have an awesome Christmas tradition. We have the Ramsey Christmas Cash Giveaway. Starts a couple days after Halloween, apparently.
Christmas is here. I will take it.
Starting today, you can enter to win one of our weekly $500 cash prizes or the $5,000 grand prize. All the cool things you can do with that cash during Christmas time. Go to RamseySolutions.com/giveaway. You can enter every day to increase your chances of winning. No purchase is necessary. You got to be 18. RamseySolutions.com/giveaway. And right on time for Christmas, the $10 book sale is back. If any of our best-selling books or tools have impacted your life and you're fired up, well, this is your chance to share it for $10. Yeah, like 10 Christmas gifts for $100. You could just go ahead and start knocking out the list and check it twice like you're Santa. There you go. You're fired up. Share it. $10. This will do it. Life-changing books like Baby Steps Millionaires. They're putting Baby Steps Millionaires. That's a #1 bestseller. I just did it.
Did you say
dropped it to $10?
Did you say Santa?
I said Santa. I did.
All right, just double checking.
Making sure.
Well, it took me about 10 seconds to process that.
Okay. Yeah, you're late to the draw here. I'm almost done with the commercial.
So yes, your new book.
Ken Coleman's Paycheck to Purpose for $10, and Deloney's conversation cards for $10. Now that makes sense because they're a little deck of cards. But oh my gosh! All right, these are deals, people. This is a deal. Shut up. All right, shop our biggest $10 sale yet. RamseySolutions.com. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com, the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Free samples, free shipping, and new promos all the time. Use the promo code Ramsey to save money.
Today's question comes from Ian in Florida, asking for advice regarding retirement contributions. I'm 27. My wife is 26. She's a recent stay-at-home mom. She has about $35,000 in a Roth IRA. I have about $40,000 in a Roth IRA and $60,000 in a Roth 401k. We both max out our Roth IRAs each year, but I also contribute 10% of my income in a Roth 401k at work, about 15% total income going into my retirement accounts. My question is, should we be contributing more in a traditional IRA in her name and less in my name? Obviously, the retirement is mostly now going to be in my name and not hers, and I feel somewhat weird about this, even though we are good financial partners. What are your thoughts? No, I wouldn't feel weird about that. If most of it's going into your name. I mean, as long as you guys are investing 15% of your total income, I don't really care where it goes. It's just the importance of putting that money away for the future. So, Ian, if it leans more into your investments versus hers, I mean, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, total of 15% of your household income should be going at baby step 4, not more. It sounds like you're doing more. It sounds like you're doing 15%.
Like there's a lot of these. Yeah.
It sounds like you're doing 15% plus a Roth for your wife. It sounds like if you're going to do a Roth, if you're going to do an IRA for your wife, you can do that as a spousal IRA, and that's fine, into good mutual funds. And if you got good 401k Roth and a match at your place, you can do that. But the total of all of this mix should be no more than 15%. Rachel's right. Your concern about it being in one name or the other is irrelevant. In the event of death, you've got a beneficiary on it, and it's her. It all goes to her. In the event of divorce, the judge is going to take half of it and give it to her. So there's no downside for her. It doesn't matter whose name it's in because she's protected either way, so to speak. You know, I've heard people saying, well, you should always, keep your finances separate, and you ought to have your own retirement account in case of divorce. Well, in case of divorce in any state in the United States, they will take half your freaking 401k and give it to the other spouse. It's part of the deal. It's part of the property settlement. Okay, so it's not protected from that. So you can't do that. So it won't work. All of our retirement account, not all, but 96% of my retirement is in my name. Because your mom has been a stay-at-home mom since Denise was born 30 some odd years ago, almost 40 years ago now.
Yeah.
And so and consequently, I've been every year. But I mean, we do a Roth IRA every year, but I load the 401k in my name too. So when you add it all up, it's mostly in my name. But Sharon's not the least bit worried about that.
She's a good woman.
Would not occur to her to be worried about that. She assumes she could take it from me at any time she wants, and she's correct. Oh. All right, Amy's with us in Dallas. Amy, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Rachel and Mr. Ramsey. Not sure you remember me, but I called earlier this year kind of overwhelmed with prosperity. Rachel, we bonded over the craps table bit, but I
you're one of those. Oh, okay.
Yeah, hey, you ended up liking me at the end of the call, but I took all of your guys' advice except to increase my lifestyle. So we've kind of been having this like under budget problem, and what we've been doing is just putting all that money into the market, which I like because it's down right now. But then psychologically, I feel like I'm trying to time it, which I also shouldn't do. So I'm kind of like, what do I do with the extra money? Now that I'm still under budget, and I can't help it.
Having extra money left over. It's a great problem, maybe. Okay, so remind me. I'm trying to remember our call.
Would you please run for Congress? Yeah.
So you're out of debt.
Both my husband and myself are engineers.
Yes.
I'm 33. He's 32. Baby step 7.
Yes, that's right.
Back then it was 1.7 or 8 million. Now it's probably like 1.6 million net worth. But who cares?
Way to go! You've killed it. Well done.
So what do you do with the extra money that you have every month is what you're asking. And you feel weird putting it into the market because you feel like you're trying to time the market and you feel like you're
right. And I know I shouldn't, but I guess I would do that even if it was up too. Because what we do with our extra money is
But you've not increased your lifestyle, because I remember talking to you and saying
correct.
You guys need to enjoy some of your money, and you haven't.
Correct. That's our problem, right? We've increased our giving and everything else.
How much excess?
I'm thinking like it's been like $5,000 a quarter.
Oh, not much.
No. I mean, we're talking
to some people, that's a lot.
No, but in your world, you're worth $2 million. You're 32 years old. It's $1,500 a month. Okay, all right.
Yeah, and so I don't know. It's like I don't know if you're going to tell me just find something to buy or do whatever you want.
No. I mean, I wouldn't go buy something just to buy it, but I do want you guys, because you're both engineers, I know how you're wired. So like, I do want you to enjoy life. And so increasing your lifestyle I would take some of that if you haven't yet. And increase your lifestyle by a few percentage points and throw some of that extra there. And then, Amy, I'm just thinking like what Winston and I do. We have a money market account that extra money will go into after we've done everything. And if we have any extra, it's okay, it goes in here. And then we kind of have a short-term goal. So whatever it is, whether it's replacing a car or we have a big 5-year goal of doing a pool one day at our house. We really want a pool. So we're kind of putting money towards that. But we're working towards something. And so that's always helpful for us to have that thing that we're working towards. So if you and your husband, do you guys have anything that you want to accomplish or do in the next 5 years?
I don't know. I guess maybe that's part of the difficult thing. I don't know what the next goal should be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
what I did,
maybe upgrade our house.
Yeah. What I did at your stage was I just threw the money. I just threw the money in a mutual fund until it was enough there to buy some real estate that I paid cash for. It was a simple goal, and so and I actually I bought a little lake house for almost no money after I got my first couple of $100,000 in there, and that little lake house is now gone, and now we have a bigger lake house. But it started a whole trend of us buying real estate with leftover money. I'll give you something else to do that I think you really ought to do. I think it'll be good for you after talking to you for a minute. Mm-hmm. Budget $300 a month for outrageous tips and random generosity at the gas pump. And I want you to walk up with cash and look somebody in the eye and blow their mind. Do that for 3 or 4 months, and then tell me you hate it, because you won't be able to say that. It'll blow your mind. $300 or $400 out of your $1,000 or $1,500. Just you don't have to do it for the rest of your life, but you probably end up doing it the rest of your life. This is the Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today, #1 best-selling author, and my daughter. So, Rachel, I just got an email at the break that we put the Borrowed Future documentary on YouTube just a handful of days ago, about a week ago, and there's already had 200,000 people view it.
Awesome.
So once we put it on there and made it free, it was a whole $3 or something like that on Amazon Prime. But yeah, it's free on YouTube, and while this whole student loan discussion continues to be a hot topic, especially during a political season, this is a good thing to watch because it will give you the inside scoop on how nasty the whole student loan debacle is, and you don't want to miss it. It's called Borrowed Future, and you can just jump on our YouTube page. You'll find it there, and you can watch it for free. And watch it with your teens, or send a link to anybody that you know that has a teen that might ever think about going to college and doing something stupid like going into student loan debt. There's lots of ways around that, and lots of reasons to avoid it. And that way you don't become a political pawn in this mess that's out there. Chris is with us. Chris is in Fort Worth, Texas. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, Rachel and Dave. I also watched Borrowed Future, and that shook me to my core. I think everybody should see it.
Thank you.
My question is about, you're welcome. My question is about the investment strategy and the 4 kinds of good growth stock mutual funds. Mm-hmm. International is the 4th kind that spreads our risk beyond American soil. It appears to have a lower rate of return. Significantly lower.
No, it's worse than that. It sucks.
Yeah, so why is it worth diversifying into? Are we sacrificing return? Mm-hmm. Why do we do that?
You know, I actually just asked the same question about probably about 24 months ago, because you know, what we teach are time-honored principles like get out of debt and the borrower's slave to the lender in the Bible. And so we're not going to change on those things, okay? We're not going to suddenly go, oh, there's a certain kind of, you need to go do this debt. No, we're not going to do that, okay? But, you know, the 4 mutual fund types are something I dreamed up with other people. The guy that started the show with me was an investment broker, and we dreamed that up and ran models on it and stuff 30 years ago. And so it's not a sacred cow. And so I got to looking at it, and I'm looking at my own returns, and I'm asking the same question you're asking, because this thing, I mean, it doesn't just mildly underperform the other 3. It sucks. You know, and so I went to our SmartVestor Pro, and I said, hey, help me run some scenarios out on this, because I'm about to change my advice after 30 years. I mean, after 25 years. People are going to be shocked. They're going to fall out on the floor. Dave Ramsey changed, because he never changes, you know. But I never change because I'm right. But if I'm wrong, I need to change. So we dug into it, and I had him run a bunch of scenarios out, and I said, okay, what if I didn't have, for the last 30 years, if I didn't have international in the mix, if I just did the other 3, run out what would have happened, and run it out if it was in there. And certainly if you run it out in like 5-year blocks, or certainly the last 10 years, you would have overperformed not having it in there. So my advice, you know, but the weird thing is what he did do, is he pulled up all of the weird times in the economy. We're kind of in one of those right now, as a matter of fact, like a bear market. And we found that the international shored up the others because they would dive down below it and then come back up past it. And the diversification actually did work to where you ended up mathematically better off because of those weird anomaly downturns made up the difference. And we ran it out. I mean, you can get with a good investment broker like our Smart Investor Pros, and they can run hypotheticals, they're called, on the computer. And you can put let's pick 4 good mutual funds that are in the 4 categories with long track records, and then let's run it with it, run it without it, run it in, for 15 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years. Let's run it back and forth as best we can. Let's see what would happen if we hadn't put it in there. Have we been making a mistake all this time? Because I was having the exact same question you got, Chris. It's a really good question, is my point, I think. But the weird thing was it worked out better to have it in there, so I kept it in there. But it still kind of baffles my mind a little bit because it sucks so bad.
Is it?
I have a great Smart Investor Pro. Can I give a shout out to him on the air?
Sure.
He's Jake Buckwalter at Myers Whitaker. Everybody in 4, 5, 6, and 7 needs to call this guy. But he showed me the international, and it does coincide with what you said. I wanted to ask on air because I thought everybody should know. And what your answer was, that there are a couple of years where it just outperformed crazy.
And it made up the difference.
So you think that might happen again? With
it does because markets.
Is it happening now?
It may be happening at this moment, but markets cycle. And so you're going to have these weird anomaly years in the rhythm of market cycles of up and down turns. And so he found what I found when you all talked about it, right, Chris? That the math actually, so what it did is it was kind of a cool illustration of the theory that diversification is, that you're safer and you make more money in the long term by having different kinds of things rather than all your money in one thing. And that's really what it illustrates. And it's a beautiful question.
And
so thanks for the underhand pitch then, Chris. You already knew the answer. But yeah, very cool.
But in all the other categories, did you guys run that, like the aggressive growth
no,
and
we didn't pull those out because they weren't bothering me. They were performing at or above market. But the international is just like, it's just, I make some bad metaphor. But yeah, it's that'll get me in trouble. But it's not happy. It's not as happy a fund. I mean, and our category. But there's a weird thing that some of these, it's a foreign market stock that you're buying, and things are happening in those markets in a Germany or
that aren't happening
here at the same time.
But with this downturn, because it feels more with inflation, all of it, it's a global.
Yeah, but a lot of it is global. Sometimes you'll have a global upheaval, but yet the
international
the
still.
Particular profitability of those particular companies in that it's not exactly inverse to every negative thing.
Right.
But it's enough that it just proves out the theory of diversification.
There you go.
Yeah. So the Bible does say there is, one scripture that deals with this, but it doesn't point out the foreign mutual funds. It just says in Ecclesiastes, spread your portions to 7, yes, to 8, for disaster may come upon the land. And you can fill in the blank on disaster, whether it's COVID or planes flying into towers or 2008 bubble bursts or the Great Depression or whatever. But if you have all your money in one thing, some duber drops the basket on that thing, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
And so the diversification is just a general biblical concept. And, we knew in the investment world 30 years ago when I started doing all this stuff that you don't put all your money in one category. Because if you did, you would just pick aggressive growth because it's always got the highest rate of return.
Right, totally.
But it's got
exciting, yeah.
Yeah, it's really exciting. But it's really exciting going down, too.
Mm-hmm. Feeling it all,
Yeah. So, you don't take into consideration the volatility and the offset and the other stuff. So it's a very interesting question. And I appreciate you bringing it up also to tell folk, so we can say out loud that, there are things we don't change around here. And we're not going to change. And I saw you answer a thing on Instagram like, you just give your dad the same advice because it's right. You don't need to change it. But
except for the crap stable, but it's fine.
Except for the crap stable and the Tesla. But other than that, there has to be some rebellion in the middle child. But
just a little bit.
But aside from that, the principles don't change. The processes in your life should always change. The principle is you need to balance your checkbook. Even if there's an internet that allows you to do all your banking online, you still need to reconcile to balance your checkbook.
Or it may not be a checkbook anymore.
It may not be a checkbook.
It's a checking
Your
account,
checking
but the
account.
idea is, yes.
In the old days, we got out and, they sent us all our checks back in the mail. We would mark them down, and then we would spend all this time with a little 10-key calculator trying to make sure we hadn't missed a check and weren't out of reconciliation with the bank, weren't out of balance with what we thought we had versus what we really had. And you still need to do that stuff. You still need to keep track of your dadgum money. That doesn't change. But how you do it, you still need to be investing and diversifying. But how you do it could change. But in this case, it worked out that it didn't need to change. This is The Ramsey Show. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. #1 best-selling author, my daughter. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Hey, if you like this show, do us a favor. Tell people about it. Share it with a friend. If you got the ability on YouTube or the podcast to do a share, it's easy. You can do it electronically, but certainly just mention it. Go, hey, you need to listen to this show. It'll change your life. This information is cool. Leave us a review where you can as well. And leave us a 5-star review. We don't need any 1 stars, thank you. And you can also consider subscribing, if you would, at YouTube or on podcast, where it automatically hits your phone, automatically hits the way you consume and listen to this stuff. I was walking this morning. I walk anywhere from 1 mile to 3 miles every morning, and I was out there. It's a beautiful fall morning, and a buddy of mine stopped, talked to me. He was driving by, and he's like, what podcast you listen to this morning? And so, because I've always got a podcast in my head as I'm walking and listening to somebody. I was actually listening to Smart Money Happy Hour this morning.
Oh.
I really was.
Thank you. I haven't listened to today's episode. I need to.
Yeah, it's good.
I was going to say, George on that one always says, when you're going to rate the podcast, just do as his mom said. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So
I heard him say that.
We can leave that.
Pretty good thing to steal. Yeah, you guys went through and were looking at I had not heard the phrase FinTalk yet.
Oh, yeah.
I almost threw up a little bit in my mouth when I heard it. But the financial advice from TikTok, FinTalk.
Hashtag FinTalk.
Hashtag
like the hashtag.
FinTalk. Yeah, and yet I probably have some on there. You probably got some on there, but they're okay.
So,
so
we tried to spread hope.
Yes, you did.
Knowledge.
And y'all are so nice because you didn't trash the people.
That's it.
I was listening to it. I was going, see, if I was doing that, there'd been no holds barred. The guy's an idiot. I mean, jeez, unbelievable. And trying to make it. Oh, anyway, it was good.
Yeah.
It was a good show. Y'all did a good job with it.
It's a great episode. Well,
yeah. Buying whole life for your 3-year-old.
I know.
See,
I'm
just telling you.
The motivation behind it.
You're just so nice.
I am nice.
He's a whole life agent doing an ad with his kid in his lap. That's what he is doing. He's had his baby. He sold his baby out.
Because I really believe, though, that he believes that is the best thing to do. Don't you think, or do you think he knows it's a scam? Not him specifically.
There's only 2 kinds of people who sell whole life. People that know it's a scam and keep selling it, which makes them crooks, and people that can't do math. Okay. It's the only 2 kinds of people selling cash value insurance.
He can't do math because he seemed like a very nice guy.
He believed the company line for the 30 minutes that he worked there. And 80% of the whole life agents don't sell for more than 1 year. And they're out of the business because they wake up and realize it.
It's terrible. No, I agree. I'm just saying.
Y'all are just sweet. It was just sweet. Y'all are nice.
Not that we're sweet. You're kind. We're giving humanity a chance that this guy may not realize how terrible it is. I don't know. But we're giving you the truth of how terrible it is.
And I just think of all the people that might have followed his advice. That's what's scary. That's what makes me mad.
I agree. I'm with you. I don't want it out there.
It's wrong.
But hey, I did see. Because TikTok, it's a big platform, but there's someone, and I read an article about it, that's trying to get like the U.S. government to ban TikTok in America or something. I don't know. But
really?
Yes,
because the Chinese own it.
Yeah,
and they're raping everybody's data. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yes, so I'm like, man,
They
is
got
it
all
even,
the data
is it
on
even
you.
going to? Is it
And
even going to?
They got access to your phone. You got to have a conspiracy theory about that.
Oh, I don't have TikTok on my phone.
Okay, there you go.
I won't
The
because
conspiracy theorist right here.
No, I won't. I will not. No.
I don't either, but it's for other reasons. All right. Evan is with us in Kansas City. Hey, Evan, what's up?
Hey, Dave, I got a heck of a mess on my hands, and I could use your advice on how to tackle it.
We'll try. What's up?
Okay. So my mom has pretty well squandered all her money her whole life. About 5 years ago, she inherited $400,000 from my grandparents, and between my siblings stealing it and her squandering it, it's pretty well all gone. And she never has really taken care of herself her whole life. And my siblings want to have a conversation on Thanksgiving about putting her in a nursing home because her health is that bad. And I'll be honest with you, Dave, I'm just to the point I don't want to pay for it. I mean, she's made a lot of horrible mistakes in her life. I have too. I'm on track to pay off all my debt in the next 6 months. And I'm kind of wondering how you would best approach that conversation or that situation.
I'm sorry. How old is she?
She's about 62.
Ancient.
What
She's
is she?
my age.
Well, what's her health condition? Because you said that she's in
Wow.
bad health. What is it, like early Alzheimer's, or is it what?
No, it's very overweight. I mean, she got so heavy one point her knees started to hurt, and so instead of losing weight, she bought an electric wheelchair so she didn't have to walk anywhere, and it's going downhill pretty fast. My sister lives with her now, and it's to the point where she can't take care of her, and it's this. I know I've seen this coming. I don't know if my siblings have, but I have seen this coming.
Yeah.
Okay. Is she is destitute? She has no money.
Yep.
No house, no property, no money in an account.
Well, so here's she does own a site at a campground, and she does own a house. So I do know we could sell that for a little while, but that's only going to last so long.
Okay.
Because the house isn't worth anything. I mean, we can get maybe $20,000 out of it, and maybe $2,000 or $3,000 out of this campsite that she owns.
Yeah. Okay. So she doesn't have. Okay. So here's the thing. What you guys need to study, and you need to do a little study on it before you get to Thanksgiving, is there's welfare nursing home. It's called Medicaid. Okay? And it will not take her house. It will make her sell the campground and apply that. But after that, Social Security basically Medicaid pays for her nursing home. And she goes to a Medicaid nursing home. It's government funded. Now, it's not as fancy schmancy as if you're paying $80,000 a year to be there, you know? Okay.
Yeah.
But she'll be okay. I mean, they'll feed her and take care of her, and if she needs care, she can go into a Medicaid nursing home, and it sounds like that none of you are multimillionaires.
No, I'm probably the most financial off. And the part of the issue too is, I mean, we're having this conversation at Thanksgiving. A few days later, very soon later, I deployed to Europe.
Okay, so you're not going to be involved in terms of physically. You're not going to be there. So
and I can't be in the discussions. I'm not going to be in the sort of thing.
Well, you can be in discussions unless you're on some kind of a mission that doesn't allow communication with your family, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your service. I'm sorry you guys are facing this because it's it puts a knot in your stomach because on the one hand you got her misbehavior and your siblings' misbehavior with her money and all that, and on the other hand it's your mom. Right? And so and it doesn't matter how much she screwed up, she's still your mom. And that doesn't stop happening. So it breaks your heart in two because one side is saying this is ridiculous and the other side is, she's your mom. And so I'm sorry you guys are in this position, but I would just simply tell everybody we're going to Medicaid. Just find a Medicaid nursing home and put her in it. It's that simple if she needs care because none of you can afford to fund it.
Yeah.
Do you think?
So the question also I would have is, she hasn't had a job in 20 years. Would that affect any of the Social Security, Medicaid, anything like that?
Nope. She'll still get the Medicaid.
Okay.
But again, you need to read up on what the exceptions are. They used to be you could keep a home with value equity up to $78,000, and you could keep a certain amount of dollars in your checking account, and beyond that, they would provide. I don't know what the numbers are today. I haven't looked it up in a while, but no ancillary things like campgrounds or whatever. So you're going to be selling that and giving it to them, to the nursing home. But that won't even last a month, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, and if between you and me, Dave, I'm going to argue that the house goes too. I mean, if that's fine. At this point, there's no reason to have it.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But I think you just go, look, none of us can afford it. And Medicaid is the option, and this is how we're going to take care of her. And then you don't have to get in a big, oh, you used up all her money, you stole all her money, and she misbehaved, and she's not taking care of her. You don't have to get into all that. You just take care of her, plug her into that. It's the only thing you can do. I'm sorry you're facing it. It's awful. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz, co-host on The Ramsey Show. If you want to do your debt-free scream live on the show, visit RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream. We'd love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story. That's RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream.
From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's The Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Abigail is in Topeka, Kansas. Hi, Abigail. How are you?
Well, hello there. Thank you for taking my call, Dave and Rachel.
Sure. What's up?
Well, you both say that that's not a money problem. That's a marriage problem. And I know that's what I have. I've been married 40 years. And I'm staying in the marriage, but I'm scared. I have no retirement to speak of. We have no retirement to speak of. And we're getting old.
How old are you guys?
He's 69. I'm 62.
Yeah. And you guys have no retirement.
He has 40,000. I have 16,000.
Are you both still working?
Yes. He's had various and sundry businesses over the years. He sold his last one and then, quote, retired for 2.5 years. And now he's back in the workforce. We make plenty of money. We just spend it all.
And what's his hesitation of, well, you're saying we spend it all, so I'm going to go with that language. Is it mostly him or is it you as well that you're thinking, I don't have great money habits either?
We don't have furs and jewels. We have nothing really to show for it. We've been doing a budget for 4 years after we did FPU. And yet, no matter how much money we bring in, out the door it goes. And last night he said to me, that gazelle intensity is BS. I'm not doing it. Well, we've completely paid off all the debt. Well, let me just say we did, and then I did again and again and again. And what's really got me scared right now is his health is failing. And even though I'm a late bloomer, I was a stay-at-home mom for years and years, I have the capacity to make a lot of money. With all the stress, it's just wildly, like last year was 50 grand. This year is 175 grand. The year before, 2 years ago, it was 185. So it's back. It could be a low year, it could be a high year.
What do you
and
do?
I'm not putting anything away.
What do you do?
And now I need a new car.
What do you do?
And he wants to go into debt for the car.
What do you do?
Don't laugh. I'm an attorney, and I have my own business, but it can fluctuate wildly.
No, why would we laugh?
It's not funny. It's wonderful. Congratulations. That's
thank you.
Pretty cool. And you have the ability to make really good money some years. Yeah. Everything we would tell you, short of fixing this in the marriage counselor's office, is a poor substitute and at best a Band-Aid, or at worst would cause more damage to the marriage.
Marriage counseling.
I'm tempted. No, this guy. I mean, I get where you are. I'm just saying, if I tell you to do something else, part of the problem is I got 20 million people listening. It might give one of them permission to do something else, and I don't want them to do it. I want them to. I want to get them to the root of this and to fix it. But if you're going to stay married, maybe you need to act like you're divorced.
Separate account.
Yep. He doesn't have access to your income anymore.
Yeah.
And you make $185,000, you can go buy a car, pay cash for it, a car that fits, within your cash budget, and you just operate your little life there. And but I got to tell you, that's not a good way to live.
Is that because of her age?
No, it's just not a good way relationally.
No, I'm saying
you're going to be living in a house with a roommate now.
I know, and that's where for me, Abigail, I'm like, yes, because we say that it's more of a marriage issue than a money issue. It's coming out as a money issue, but there's something about him that isn't willing or doesn't want to be on the same page with you and be a team with you for the rest of your marriage. And you guys can still have another 20 years of this life together. And so I would want to get to the root of his pushback so much. What is it? Because he's smart. I mean, he can look at numbers and know we don't have money to retire. And is it a pride thing? Is it a fear thing? Like, what is it in him that refuses to say, I'm gonna stop spending everything I make and put it away for the good of my future and my wife's future and all of that? Like, I want to know more of what's going on in him and all of that.
Yeah, I agree. I
can't believe you said separate accounts.
I said it with 73 caveats, but the
well, I'm saying, and I'm trying to get to why you said that. Is it because of her age and she's going to retire soon and she needs money to live off of? Like, or is it because most?
What needs to happen is she needs to lay down the thing and say, if we're not going to do this together, we're not going to be together. After 40 years, that eventually it's going to get down to that. Because her level of respect for him is going down and down and down and down and down and down. She's being very careful to be very classy, but in between all those words was a lot of anger and disrespect.
Which I would feel the same way.
And most people would.
Abigail,
and she's like, this guy's baggage. And, I'm smart enough. I'm an attorney. Late in life, I became an attorney, and I can go do this, and I don't need this crap. Mm-hmm. That's all in there. And it's not going to get better if you separate the accounts. It's going to get worse.
Yep.
Because you're going to watch him over there playing in the sewage, and you're over here playing with gold coins. And so it's just a problem. So Sharon and I have been married 40 years, and I can tell you what would happen at our house. We would go and sit with a counselor, and we would try to find common ground. And if she bowed up and said, I absolutely refuse to be smart. I am going to spend like I'm in Congress, and we are going to be on welfare as we go into our retirement years because I am prideful and I will not deal with this, and I'm not going to face this, and I'm not going to discuss it. Then she's going to find her own way, I guess. It'd be really sad. I'd hate that. But because the alternative is actually worse than divorce.
She gets dragged down in it.
It's actually worse. So, I would put him in a corner. But I would do it systematically, kindly, gently, lovingly, patiently.
Yep.
but I'm going to put him in a corner, and we're going to solve this, because this ain't going to work out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look across the room at you and hate you 10 years from now. I'm not going to do it. This is The Ramsey Show. I say it all the time. If you're a business owner and you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And when markets are shifting, it's even more important. You've got to know where you stand so you make your next move the right move. And you don't have to be in the dark here. Over 31,000 businesses, including my team at Ramsey, know their numbers because they use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, planning, budgeting, and inventory so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Having everything in one place has saved my team hours each week since we made the switch to NetSuite. NetSuite is a game changer. So head on over to netsuite.com/Ramsey to get a product tour today. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. Cruz, Ramsey personality, and my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. If the economy has you looking over your shoulder these days, well, we understand. All of us are kind of giving it the side eye right now and going, ugh, yuck. You people are messing this up. And that's why we're on the road doing Building Wealth live events. As a matter of fact, night before last, we were with a sold-out crowd in Sacramento. A lot of fun over in California. Thank you guys for turning out for that. Next week, we will be in Minneapolis. And the following week, we will be in San Antonio, all sold out. Thank you guys very, very much. We appreciate that. It's me and Rachel Cruz, George Camel, Dr. John Deloney, and Ken Coleman. And so guess what? We're adding the spring events to the list today, good stuff going on. So we have already had Indianapolis on February the 16th up for sale and selling very rapidly. Thank you. Same with Austin, Texas on February 23rd and Anaheim on May the 2nd. Here's a couple of new dates for you. We will be in Nashville doing this event on January the 12th. Looking forward to that. And, of course, Salt Lake City on April the 24th, a brand new date as of today. Don't wait to get your passes. Our Spring Building Wealth Live events of all dates are already selling out of VIP level passes. General admission is not yet sold out, but the VIPs and Platinum VIPs go very, very quickly on all of these. And the general admission is only $39, and they go quickly as well. All of our fall events were sellouts. Thank you very much, America. We appreciate it. We understand you're scared, and we want to try to give you some answers. And people responded well in California.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a great crowd.
Yeah, they were nice people, and we really enjoyed being with you guys a couple nights ago. So tickets start as low as $39 for the Building Wealth live events. Again, Nashville, Indianapolis, Austin, Texas, Salt Lake City, and Anaheim. If you want to come, tickets are on sale now for all of those. 2 of those I just announced at the second. It's the first time anybody knew about it. All at RamseySolutions.com/events. RamseySolutions.com/events, and get your tickets before they are gone. We've also announced the Smart Conference, a very special edition, a 2-day Smart Conference, Friday night, all day Saturday, in the new Ramsey Events Center, April 14th and 15th. And that will be the inaugural event with commemorative passes and all kinds of special things we're doing. And the Ramsey Event Center only holds 2,400 people. The typical SMART conference is 6,000 to 8,000 people, so that will be a very early sellout. Again, if you don't have your tickets to that, you'll want to get that. That's, of course, here in Nashville as well, or Franklin, Tennessee, just south of Nashville. All right, Henry's with us in Madison, Wisconsin. Hi, Henry. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Long-time listener. Thanks for taking my call.
Certainly, sir. How can we help?
I'm in I'm in a big mess, and I just wanted to get your advice on it.
Okay.
So I took FPU about 12 years ago. I know the system. I have EveryDollar Plus. I've been engaged to my fiance for about 7 years. The only reason that we haven't gotten married is I can't afford to give her day that she deserves. She wants to wait for that day. And my concern is that she just lost her job due to medical reasons, and we lost her insurance. She has COBRA, but it's $800 a month. There's just absolutely no way that I can put that $800 line item in the budget. Is it, in this situation, is it ever appropriate to take a hardship withdrawal from traditional retirement products so that you have health insurance?
Do you have health insurance at your work?
I'm eligible for health insurance at my work, but I'm a massively service-connected veteran, so the VA takes care of all my health care.
Okay.
So are you taking
Let's pretend a theoretical thing happened, and this was your wife. Could you not go to your work and get spousal insurance through your work, cheaper than $800?
I could.
Good. But you're getting married today. Congratulations.
She's rather firm on wanting her big day, $40,000.
Toughies. Sorry. Welcome to grown-up girl land.
All right. 7
freaking years. Dude, that's weird.
I understand.
Don't you think it's weird?
I think it is a bit, to be honest.
Yeah. Peter, get off the ladder.
I would have married her 5 years ago if it was enough to me.
Yeah. So, now she don't have a choice. Her health's gone, and she gets to be married so that she can get insurance. And we'll call that the special day. And then you guys can have a celebration because you don't have an $800 a month bill. Seriously, this is the results of this decision. This weird, poor decision to drag something out 7 years has put you guys in this situation. So you've got to fix it. I mean, it's the fastest, right way to fix this on so many levels.
On so many. If that's real, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things like, is she who you want to spend the rest of your life with? I'm assuming so because it's been 7 years. But is there a hesitation in you not wanting to fully commit as well?
We've been going through a rough patch, and if we were married, I would want to be going to marital counseling. But the finances are what has brought on this really rough patch. So
yeah,
we need to get to the bottom of that first. But then, yes, this is the woman that I love with all my heart.
Yeah.
I've had multiple relationships. This is definitely the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Okay, so if you know that for sure, you're going to go through hardships in marriage, right or wrong. So if she is it, and eventually that's where it's going to lead, then yes, I'm with Dave.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, go get married. Go, y'all are playing like this. You basically are married without actually the legal document.
Exactly. So we have shared finances, everything. We've been playing house for 5 years.
Yeah.
now.
So go. Yeah. So go get married, and then you guys, as a married couple, are going to realize, oh wow, we got to go figure out this money stuff and get on the same page. Or you say, all right, sweetie, you got to go get another job and figure out your health insurance because no, you don't need to take hardship withdrawal from retirement, or she doesn't either.
What's wrong with her health?
No, she would do it.
She would do it.
Diabetes and morbid obesity. We're not sure if she's able to go back to work at this point.
Okay. I mean, if she's the one, Henry, you gotta, yeah. So, I'm nervous though that the big day, I don't know, yeah, the big day of the wedding. It's like,
okay, let me take one step back, not 10 steps back, but one step back. How old are you guys?
I'm 34 and she's 31.
Okay. All right.
Do you have kids together?
No kids.
Okay.
Okay. Her health is. You guys need to sit down and see you need to spend more than $800 on a counselor. And you guys need to sit down with a counselor, and you need to dig into what's going on with her and the special day stuff. And how is that tied? Is there any connection between that and her health issues? Because I'm not a counselor, but I'm smelling a rat. And so I would want to get to the bottom of all of that before I rush off and get married. Because if she's not going to, and you guys aren't going to deal with your issues as a couple, and she's not going to deal with her issues that are underlying in all of this, then that's causing this weird situation. There's something she's hurting somewhere, and there's something that's causing this. I don't know what that stuff is. I don't have Dr. Deloney here to help me, but there's something causing all this stuff, and you don't need to get married till you figure out what that is, and we're working on it, and then you can figure out the health insurance thing. But if everything else was glory, but of course it's not glory, because we're 7 years sitting around waiting, paying her to get off the ladder. So you need to get to why these things are going on, and if you can deal with the why, then get married, and that'll help her with her health insurance. But no, you don't need to have combined finances. You're not married. We don't recommend that. We recommend combined finances for married couples because it puts you in this weird situation where you're buying health insurance for someone that's your roommate. This is The Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author. My daughter is my co-host today. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions is quite a few folks. You can jump by anytime you'd like. We broadcast this show live every day from 1 to 4 Central, and it is free to watch. We don't guarantee it be entertaining, but it is free. And so you're welcome to come at any point and do that. And also, folks, schedule with our team to do their debt-free screams in person live here on the official debt-free stage. They're with us, Sean and Nilda. Hi, guys. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for having us.
We're honored to have you. Where do you live?
Orlando, Florida.
Very cool. And how much debt have you paid off?
$114,000.
Wow. How long did that take?
12 months.
Whoa.
Nice.
And your range of income during that time?
We started at $220,000, and then we're projected to be around $300 by the end of the year.
Wow. What do y'all do?
I'm a registered nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Hero. And,
Amen.
I do applications for a medical imaging company.
Okay. All right. So both of you are working a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot.
A lot.
To get this income going. Yeah. You can, you and you work all you want and as little as you want right now. I mean, it's crazy out there.
Yeah.
So congratulations. Okay. What kind of debt was the $114,000?
Our house.
You paid off the house, or get the paid off house shirt now. Okay. Oh my gosh. How old are you two?
I'm 29, or I'm 30 now. Oh my gosh.
Don't let her fool you. She
I
was
wish I was
29.
You had to say it out loud on the radio.
She was 29 at the time. I'm 31.
Okay. And what's the
Wow.
house worth?
Just check the little HomeBot thing we got from Deidre at Churchill. It's $370.
$370. Nice. And you're 30 years old and it's paid for. You guys are so weird. I love it.
Never been accused of being normal.
I love it. I'm so proud of you. How fun. How long have you been married?
A year
About
and
a year.
half.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So you get married, get a house, and pay it off. Boom.
I had kind of bought the house a while ago. It's kind of a long story, but I had bought the house a while ago, and we finally got married and just got Gazelle with it.
Okay. All right. Well, tell us the story. How did you?
Sure.
What was the plan here?
Well, as part of the story, too, is she paid off 6 figures of consumer debt on her own
Oh,
before we
wow.
got married. So that's not even included in these figures. Super impressive. But a coworker introduced me to the baby steps in like 2014. And it made sense to me. I'd been raised to live below my means and had been shown an amortization schedule in high school. And so all these things kind of made sense. And I was like, oh, yeah, that tracks well. But I wasn't factoring in that it's 80% behavior. And so I had all this knowledge, but I was not acting on it. I was doing Dave-ish for the longest time and just making her mad, talking about it all the time, but not doing it myself. So how could I lead that way? So anyways, I what do you want to?
Yeah, well, he introduced me to you back when we met in 2014, and I was like, no, like, we'll always have debt, like, that's just a normal thing, and he was like, no, like, just follow the plans. So when I graduated nursing school, I started following it, but I was doing Dave-ish because I got a car after I graduated nursing school. And then around 2019, I read your book, Rachel, Love Your Life, Not Theirs.
Yeah.
And that one changed my life. And then I became Gazelle Intense. I paid off my car. I paid off my student loans. And then,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a rock star for sure.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard work. That's hard work. So then when you guys came together, you had no debt going into the marriage a year
No
ago.
debt, just
Correct.
the
And you
house.
guys were
Except
like
you had the house.
the
Yes.
house, and then you guys said, okay, let's pay off the mortgage,
Yeah.
and you went for it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
set about it. It was time for me to be Gazelle Intense,
Yeah.
you know, because I'd been watching her do it, and so I was
Yes.
ready. And it just was all serendipitous, I guess.
Yeah, in January of this year, we only lived off of one income. So
Yeah.
100% of my income, because I was able to work overtime, 100% of my income was going to the mortgage. So we were paying about like $15,000 a month since January.
Yeah, we were just slamming it. It was amazing.
Slam, slam, slam. I love it.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you
Has
so
it even
much.
settled in that you're like 30 years old and you don't have any payments at all, house or anything?
No.
How whacked that is?
I don't think so.
No, it hasn't.
You're going to be so rich.
Yeah, you get to keep $15,000 a month. You're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you going to do with all this money now? I mean,
Max retirement, number one.
Yeah.
what's your first big thing you want to do with money now that you're out?
I don't know. We're still living way below our means.
That will always be the case,
We're
of
not.
course.
Yeah, but
We have some trips planned, and
yeah, we spent 3 weeks in Montana for our honeymoon. We waited a year after we got married to go on our honeymoon so we can save for it and, you know, pay for it all in cash. And then, but I think we already started investing for our next house. Hopefully that'll be our short-term goal and pay for it full in cash. And we maxed out our retirement.
yeah, Max retirement. We have new charities, so
Yeah.
you know,
awesome, you guys.
How much have you
Expensive.
already got saved in your retirement nest egg?
Oh, upwards of around 3.
100?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you're 31 and you got $650,000, $700,000 in net worth already.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be millionaires and like by Christmas. Oh my God, it's pretty impressive. Yeah,
It's amazing.
that's weird. That's just so cool. I'm
It
so
is.
proud of y'all.
Thank you, Dave.
Very
Thank you so
neat.
much.
So
Very
great.
neat.
So
And
great.
both sets of parents came to cheer you on. huh?
Yeah, it's really wonderful
Yeah,
to
I
bring them
know.
up, and we're up in Hendersonville for the week.
Well, they got to be really proud. There's no chance you're moving into their basement.
Exactly.
I mean, this is great.
Yeah.
Did y'all have friends along the way that were curious about your journey, like what you were doing? Were there cheerleaders along the way? Were there people that were like, y'all are nuts?
Yeah, most of my friends were like, you don't have to work so hard. Like, it's fine. Just just stop working so much overtime. You're going to burn yourself out. And I was like, no, I have to do this. I have to do it. I would call him in the bathroom at work crying because I was just like, just so burnt out. But then he was just like, you don't have to work so hard. I was like, I do. We have this goal. And I was like, I want to do it by 30.
Yeah, you weren't burnt out. You were just tired.
I was tired. That's what it was. Yeah, but
you don't get burnt out when you got a goal.
Yeah, that's true.
Burning out's when you're just spinning.
That's true.
For nothing. But when you're going towards something, you just get tired.
Yeah, I knew there was a goal at the end, so that's why I kept doing it. But
yeah, we had the amortization schedule on the fridge, and we would be crossing it out with different colors each month, and it was always a goal to smack as many lines as we could. And you had to gamify it, like you say all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
No discipline seems pleasant.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Love your life,
guys.
not
Thank
theirs
you.
was what lit you up.
yeah, we actually have that book, and then I had lent it out to somebody, and I just was like, you know what, it changed my life, so you can have it. So I gave it to her, and we actually do. And I remember from the book you had talked about you had a couch that you were embarrassed of, and and I was feeling the same way because we had a couch I didn't really like, and I'm just like, you know what, people don't really think about that. So
You just need a place to sit.
yeah, so after that I paid off my student loans, and then I paid off my car and my credit cards and all that stuff. So
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well done, you guys.
Now you can get a
Thank
couch.
we got a couch.
I guess we did do that, yeah.
I love it. Hey, we've got a copy of Total Money Makeover for you. Baby Steps Millionaires, because you're going to be there in a heartbeat.
Wow.
And celebrate
Thank you.
that with you as
Thank
well.
you.
And a 1-year membership to Financial Peace University and a new copy of Love Your Life, It's Not Theirs. We're going to throw them all in just to say we're proud of you and congratulations. Very, very well done, you two.
Thank you.
All right, quickly, what's the secret to getting out of debt?
Well, of course, number one, you have to do the budget. You have to. Follow the plan exactly. Don't do Dave-ish. Come on. If you're doing Dave-ish right now, I'm talking to you. Do the plan. If you do the plan, you'll get the results. You say that all the time. And I would say, thirdly, embrace the core concepts of capitalism. That's self-ownership and private property. These things are attainable in today's world, even here and now. And despite of all the government intervention in your life, you can still do it. And I would say you owe it to yourself to do it, and posterity as well.
Wow!
Amen. Amen and hallelujah.
Sean for president.
Do it.
I like it.
There
Good
are no
stuff.
collectivist systems raising.
Good stuff. Sean and Nilda, Orlando, Florida, $114,000 paid off in 12 months. House and everything at 30 years old. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Yeah! Woo! Woo, woo, woo! Well, in case you thought millennials and Gen Z had all lost their minds, we get the best ones around here.
I know.
This is the Ramsey Show. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. Rachel's my co-host today. Jared is with us in Minneapolis, so we'll be up there next week to see you guys. Hey, Jared, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Hey, I got a question about I got a small business. I got 2 trucks, and it seems like every time I get caught up, I got another big bill that I can't cover. So then I put it on a credit card, and I just kind of feel like I'm stuck in a loop.
Okay. What kind of business are you in?
The towing company.
Say again?
Salvage cars. Towing?
Towing. Okay, so you have 2 tow trucks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you just, like most people, maybe even like me, got up and just decided I'm in business today.
Well, I've been working in the business for like 12 years.
Working in is different than running it.
Yep.
And so now operating a tow truck is no longer your job. your job now is running a business, and you're really good at operating a tow truck, and now you're having to learn how to run a business. Is that fair?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So what kind of big bills are coming up? Unexpectedly.
I got a it's a higher mileage truck, so I just had a turbo go out on me. It's about 8,900 with the intercooler.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping to put about $2,000 down, but I don't have enough to cover the rest of the bill.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who's driving the other truck?
It's just me. They got
you have
sometimes
two, you
they
have
only
two
have
trucks.
a load.
You have two trucks, and you just you.
Yes.
Park it till you make the money with the other truck.
Okay.
What's the other bills that have come up unexpectedly?
It's just bigger repairs. They just seem like you got like 6 or 8 a year. It seems like.
Okay.
You know,
I would think that that's not really. I would think that that's not really unexpected. That's predictable.
Okay.
I think you're going to have X number of thousands of dollars average per month. Some months none, some months double of repairs because you've got a fleet of trucks, 2 trucks on the road, and towing stuff's hard on trucks.
Okay.
So you're going to have repairs as part of your business. It's part of your business model.
Okay. I guess what I'm afraid of is if a motor goes, it's like $30,000 to get it rebuilt. Do I get rid of the truck, or do I just expect it to be coming up and save up for it?
Exactly. I don't think it's if a motor goes. I think it's when it goes.
Yep.
It's going to go. It's part of your business. You're going to wear out these vehicles. You're going to have small repairs, medium repairs, and huge repairs and replacements. These are part of your business model, and setting money aside to keep all of that running, like paying the rent for a restaurant or paying a worker that works there. You got to set it aside out of your. You've been just making the money and taking it all home, and maybe paying your taxes.
Yeah, well, I pay myself out of it too. I pay myself about $40,000 a year.
That's what I mean. You're taking all the money home. There's no money laying down at the office.
Yes.
So you're just making the money and taking it home. You're treating it like you have no expenses hardly, other than fuel and insurance. You're paying some of that, but yeah. So my guess is you're probably not charging enough.
Okay, they are set rates for the most part, which is kind of sucks too. But,
set rates by who?
They're mostly insurance cars.
Oh, okay. So the
insurance company totals out, I go get
insurance company's setting the rate.
Yes. Sometimes you bid on them, but for the most part, they're set.
Okay. All right. I'd be looking at my business model because fuel's gone up, repairs have gone up, everything's gone up, and if the insurance rate, set rate didn't go up, that might not be the business I want to be in. I may want to be in a non-insurance towing business or something. I don't know. But you got to be looking at all of that all the time. Bottom line is, though, you need to be running a profit and loss statement. I'd have you sit down, go to RamseySolutions.com, click on Tax ELP, and find someone that's in the bookkeeping and accounting business in your area that we recommend. Have them start to help you build an accounting system. It's really not rocket science. It sounds intimidating, but it's not. It's what you've got coming in minus money set aside for repairs, minus money set aside for fuel, minus money set aside for insurance, and help you look at the pricing and seeing, can I afford to do this? You might be losing money on every tow if repair costs and insurance costs and fuel costs have gone up so much that by the time you go over there, you're losing money every time. That could happen in the world we live in today with this inflationary market, and this fuel and diesel's gone nuts too. So
and factoring in the repairs, like if you do all of that and do your budget for the month to see.
The actual repairs, because you don't want to live behind the 8 ball, which is where you are. You're always behind. You're always waiting on the next thing to happen instead of planning for it to happen. Mm-hmm. And so, Jared, in the real estate business, back in the day when I was a young guy, they taught us, if you own an apartment complex, to say, okay, the roof has 5 years of life left on it before it starts leaking. And so I need to figure out what a roof costs, and I need to put 1/5 of the roof cost away for the next 5 years to replace the roof, plan to replace the roof. And we called those a sinking fund. That's what it's called in that world. But in your sense, you need a sinking fund to replace trucks and to do big repairs to trucks, and you need a budget line item for minor repairs to trucks. and a budget line item for fuel, and a budget line item for these things. And you need to put all this stuff together, and then that helps you calculate what each trip costs and whether or not it makes sense to do some of these trips. And it helps you save up and fix this one turbo right here as fast as you can, because you're going to put a big old line item in there, and you're going to work extra. You're going to do everything you can to get extra money coming in to cover this right now. But no, I'm not going to tell you to go into debt to do that. I'm going to park that truck and run the other truck until I can do it. It's what I would do if I owned the business. And it's how I've run this business too. I started it on a card table in my living room, and we've never borrowed a dime all the way out. Hang on, I'm going to send you a copy of our book, Entree Leadership, which will help you run your business. It's what we teach, how we teach small business people to run their business. You're doing a good job. You're doing better than you think you're doing, but you've got to get around in front of this, because this is causing a ton of stress for you that doesn't have to be there. Doesn't have to be there. But so, folks, what happened with Jared, and what I was accusing him of, not in a derogatory way, but just reading his mail, is a lot of people become good at a trade. I'm a good plumber. I'm a good heating and air guy. I'm a good carpenter. I'm good at cooking. I'm good at being a chef. I'm good at whatever. And then they open a business. I'm a good real estate agent. And then they open a business. I'm going to own a real estate company with agents working for me. I'm going to open a heating and air company with heating and air techs working for me, and I'm going to have trucks. I'm going to open a towing company. And you become an accidental leader, an accidental entrepreneur. But the mistake all of us make, and I've made the mistake too, even inside of the Ramsey business, I've made the mistake. Just because someone's good at a certain discipline or a certain thing, that does not necessarily mean they're good at leading a business to do that thing. Business leadership and business entrepreneurship is a different skill set than working on heat and air, or than doing computer programming, or than whatever. So if I've got a computer programmer that's an excellent computer programmer, it doesn't necessarily mean they may be the best in the building, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're a leader of that area. Because leadership is a different skill set than computer programming. And so anytime you're in the small business setting, one of the moves you make is from practitioner to owner. You move from your hands doing the work to also your brain has to be controlling the numbers around your hands doing the work and the people that use their hands doing the work. And so you got to get up on top of it. And my friend Michael Gerber, who wrote the book E-Myth, which is a wonderful book on this subject, says to work on your business, not just in your business. Yeah, that's his phrase, and it is an absolutely fabulous phrase. And it's a good way to look at this stuff. Entree Leadership will help you with all of that. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. Our thanks to Austin, Ben, Zach, Andrew, and James in the booth dudes. I'm Dave Ramsey, and we'll be back. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where Dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create real, amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author. My daughter is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Thank you for joining us, America. Guys, we are hearing from you from time to time that you're dealing with banks or credit card companies or car dealers or whoever, and you're saying, well, I'm going to close my credit card, or no, I'm not going to borrow money to buy this car, or whatever, and they give you some kind of yeah, and you go, well, I'm on the Ramsey plan, I'm in financial peace, and then some of you are telling us that you are getting a scripted response to the fact that you brought us up, or you're getting some kind of weird something happening. We want to hear some of these stories. We're kind of curious what's really going on. So if that's anything like that has happened to you recently, email us and tell us the story right now. We want to hear from you. ask@RamseySolutions.com. Use our Ask email, and that'll go straight to the production team, and they'll be able to tell us what's going on there. So ask@RamseySolutions.com, and tell us your story if you've had some kind of, I don't know, scripted or weird response to saying, I'm not doing that stuff because I'm doing Ramsey, whatever that stuff is. Or maybe you're getting rid of a whole life policy. I don't know. And you hear weird stuff, because we hear some really wacky stuff out there from time to time, and we're just kind of wondering how true it really is. And because obviously they're not going to say that to me, unless if they actually know who I am, So I did have that happen one time. I went into an electronics store and was trying to buy something, and the guy said, you need the extended warranty, and I said, no. And he goes, well, Dave Ramsey gets them. And I thought he knew who I was. I started laughing. I thought he was joking with me. And I'm like, well, no, Dave Ramsey doesn't get them. And he's like, oh, yeah, he does. And he started arguing with me until I handed him my driver's license, and then he said a curse word. And so, but yeah. So, I mean, stuff like that's just fun, y'all. You got to know that's fun. So we want to hear from you. Ask@RamseySolutions.com. William is with us. William's in Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, William. How are you?
I'm doing good, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Thanks for taking my call, and Rachel, too. My question is, we're looking for guidance on how much we should spend on our next home. We're debt-free, and we've got a paid-off house right now, and I'm saving up for a next and bigger home. And I'm just looking for recommendations on how much we should spend on that, as like maybe as a percentage of our net worth, or where you're at on guidance, going into that bigger home category.
So you're paying cash for the upgrade?
We're saving cash for the upgrade, but we've got this house we're in now could probably net $350, and we're looking at homes in the $500 to $750 range, and we've got probably another $100 saved up for that one, but we're not to where we can pay cash for the next one yet.
Okay. Are you planning to wait until you do, or you're going to take out a small mortgage and then pay it off?
Well, originally I wanted to wait, and then now we just had our fifth kid here 2 months ago, and we're more than outgrown the house that we're in, and I think we're all ready for something new. And I could save $25,000 to $40,000 per year towards the new one, but it's going to be 8-10 years before I think I could get into having all the cash. So to answer your question, yes, I'd probably go get a loan for.
Yeah. What's your household income?
The gap in between this.
What's your household income?
We're about $150,000.
Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. The way I would look at it is say, okay, what can I get for the house? How much cash do I have? Putting all those numbers together, and then saying, if it's that mortgage payment, you can go back to that 25% of your take-home pay on a 15-year fixed rate. That's kind of our formula for a house in general. But you're putting down a massive, massive down payment, because of everything you're going to have from your current home and what you have saved. So yeah, I would look at those numbers, and then I would run out to a time frame to say, man, we want to be, if we can do this and we can be debt free again in 4 years or whatever it may be, so that you can pay it down quickly. I would factor that timeline in as well, William, and talk to your wife. How many kids do you guys have?
5.
We just had our fifth.
Oh, you just had your fifth. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So, what do you do for a living?
I work in engineering and construction.
Good for you. Okay. And you ask what percentage of your net worth. When you've got a net worth of under $1 million, your house is going to be the larger percentage of your net worth, typically, especially when you work towards a paid-for house, okay? And so, we had a young couple last hour doing their debt-free scream. Their house is 60% of their 70% of their net worth. They just paid off their house. And so that's not going to be unusual. You wouldn't want that high. The higher your net worth, the smaller the percentage would go to your house. If you have a $100 million net worth, you wouldn't want 60% to your house. That'd be weird. You see what I'm saying? So even a $10 million net worth, you wouldn't. But in your first million of net worth, it's going to be the larger share. It's going to be north of 50% probably. Wouldn't be that unusual. But the good news is the house is going to go up, and you're going to be, once you've gotten that house paid off, you're going to be chunking into retirement. And so by the time you get to $2 million, it'll be 30% or something like that. And so, the natural tendency is going to be your other investments are growing faster than the house because you're adding to those after you get the house paid off. And so, that as far as your net worth question goes, it sounds like everything you're doing is very safe and you're fine. Just put it on as short a term as you possibly can, maximum of 15 years, maximum of 25% of your take-home pay. But I think you're going to be well below the 15-year. You might want to do the full 25% and then even more beyond that. But I'd set the payment up at 25% on as short a term as that will allow, given the price you buy with the down payment you have. And if that means you do an 8-year loan, fine. If it means you do a 6-year loan, fine. That's fine. Put 10-year, put it on that. That's fine. Just put it out there at 25% and then throw extra above that on it. But your actual commitment monthly, don't let that be any higher than 15 or than 25% of your take-home pay. So you're doing good, man. You're doing good. You're thinking about it. You're way ahead. You're not normal. You're already weird. Congratulations. This is The Ramsey Show.
Gazelle was made for you. The never-quitting, non-stopping Gazelle Intense. With Gazelle, you can say goodbye to monthly fees and experience a seamless integration with every dollar. So no matter how or where you spend, you are always in control. And since Gazelle is FDIC insured, you don't have to worry if your money is safe. Gazelle, the debit card that helps you spend and save the Ramsey way.
Well, a lot of you are planning a move sometime soon. That's awesome. We're excited for you, but I got to be real. Whether you're moving across country or across town, you could be facing some sky-high home prices, rising interest rates, the challenge of finding an experienced pro you can trust. When it comes to something as important as buying a home, you can't just use some friend's cousin who got their license last month. And a simple Google search can really be, that's kind of really dangerous. You should be able to find high caliber real estate pros that you can rely on, whether you're moving from Florida or to Alaska. If you're buying your first home somewhere in between, and you can find these pros, we've vetted thousands of real estate agents around the country, and you can trust, Ramsey trusted, every one of them to do the job well from start to finish. We spend a lot of money, a lot of time making sure these are high-producing agents that are the best of the best. They're part of our endorsed local provider program, and they're Ramsey trusted. They've earned our seal of approval. They prioritize you over just getting a check. They're truly experts in the cities that they serve, and they do serve Ramsey listeners. You want the best real estate agent to sell your house? Not just some goober you met at church? Not just your Aunt Sally who got her license, going to have her feelings hurt? Don't list your house with those people. It's silly. It's your largest asset. A monkey can sell a house, but that doesn't mean one should. So you need to go to RamseySolutions.com/agent. Get the best agent possible for your real estate transaction. RamseySolutions.com/agent. Marcy is in Cape Cod. Hey, Marcy, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Rachel. Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than we deserve. What's up in your world?
I'm calling because, full disclosure, before I started listening to your program, I leased an $86,000 vehicle. I am now coming
what
to
kind
the
of
end
car?
I know. I was like,
a Range Rover Sport. It was my dream vehicle. It is sweet. However, I ended up leasing the diesel version. So the cost of diesel has gone up exponentially in the last few years. And
try being on an island and getting diesel.
Yeah, it's not the best. So we are now at the point where I have saved up enough to pay off my lease. It's coming up at the end of the lease. I owe $45,000. I have the cash to be able to pay that out. But knowing that the cost of diesel is so high and eventually diesel vehicles may not be as popular as they once were, I'm concerned about maintaining it and that kind of thing. Should I, one, buy out the vehicle and then try to private sale it? Right now, KBB is listing it around 52 to 59. Should I just turn it in and pay the fees for my over mileage, or should I? I'm not sure what to do here.
Okay, so let's pretend you can get 55 for it and you can buy it for 45. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Well, we buy it.
Okay.
Even if we turn around and sell it, we buy it.
Okay.
It'd make $10,000 on it, right?
What would your gap be? So if I buy it for 45 and I can only sell it for 48, would you still make that that sale?
Well, if you're selling it to a dealer, you might only get 48. But I mean, I think do a little bit more research. Get comfortable that that the cars are actually moving and that you can sell it. The more expensive the car, the harder it is to sell. Just like anything.
Right.
Easier to sell a $20,000 car than it is a 40. There's more buyers. Okay, so that's going to be the thing, and just start poke around out there, see how long some of these things have been on the market. Talk to the Range Rover dealer and ask them how fast their inventories are moving. They may have somebody in their back pocket. A buddy of mine had a Jag the other day, and the dealer knew he had it and just called him out of the blue. I mean, he's a friend of his was the dealer, but he said, "Hey, have you still got that car?" And he said, "Yeah." He goes, "I can sell it for you right now." And he goes, "I'll take $1,000 quick because I got a guy standing here that wants it." And he just made a quick $1,000, the dealer did, and sold the dadgum car $10,000 more, and he paid for it. So it was just a weird deal. So I would make a few phone calls, see what you can get into, because anytime you can buy something that if you truly believe it's worth 55 and you can buy it for 45, I would.
So the Range Rover, I went to 2 locally just in the last 2 weeks, and the highest they offered me was 49 for it.
The dealer offered you 49?
The dealer, yes.
Oh, I'm buying this.
Okay.
That means you can. That means if you sit on it for a month and a half or 2 months and you can't move it in the 50s, you can take it over the dealer and make $4,000.
Okay. All right, great.
Yeah, I'm buying it, and then you don't have to keep it just because you bought it. But you also don't have to panic sell it either.
Right. Okay.
Because you got the money. I mean, if you wait till spring to sell it, it's okay.
Okay.
You might want to drive it this winter. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you so much.
It's a great car.
It is. I love, and every time I get in it, I'm like, am I ready to let it go?
Yeah.
I know it's just a car, but I worked really hard for it, and I have it, and I probably will never be able to get another one again now.
Oh, yeah,
I would rather invest.
Yeah, you can.
But, at this point, I'm like,
you could drive it a year and still and still break even, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Just enjoy it, and it depends on. I mean, what's your household income?
It's myself only, and I make $145.
Okay, and you have other debt?
I don't. Nope.
No, I would pay it off and keep it and drive it a little while. Just enjoy it a little bit.
Okay.
And then let's sell it. And if you make a couple thousand, great. If it costs you $1,000 when you sell it, so what? But I might enjoy it. Give yourself, September or something. Give yourself a date, and then just kind of keep poking around. And if somebody walks in and offers you $59, sell the stupid thing and get you something else, right? But I would just kind of mess with it with a open hand. You follow me? Rather than a sense of desperation, or a sense of regret, or a.
Because even with that kind of money, even selling it for close to $50, I'm like, you can buy a great car, even another Range Rover, a used.
Right, and that was my thought. Like, I could even buy a new vehicle off the lot somewhere for probably $25 and still have the warranty and have all the safety and the security and the maintenance free for a few years. And I think either way, I do win. You're right. I'm in a good situation, but it's more of should I just turn it in and cut my losses? And so you guys have helped me. I knew I called the Dream Team on the right day.
Bless your heart. You're too kind. I appreciate it. So a couple rules on cars. They've calmed back down now. The used cars are no longer going up in value. You remember that moment? You guys will be able to look back in 20 years and go, I remember back in 2020,
21,
when the cars went up in value. But you'll be telling your grandkids these stories, right? And because it happened one time in history. And you were here when it happened. So used cars go down in value like a rock. That's where Chevy got that, like a rock. Okay, so Ford is found on the road depreciated. Ford. There you go. So. Hello, this is real, and you don't keep a lot of money tied up in depreciating things. Although I'm a car guy and I love cars and I want you to have a nice car, I just don't want your nice car to have you. So we always say no more than half of your annual income tied up in things that go down in value. Hers doesn't violate that. She's at about a third, and she's paid for it. No debt. Started out wrong, but got there.
Yeah.
So she's not violating any of the guidelines. And the guidelines are there that we came up with to cause you to build wealth. They're not to cause you to live in a cave, collect lint, and only come out on triple coupon on Thursday. They're there to cause you to build wealth. And when you have a $57,000 car and you make $42,000, you are going to be broke your whole life because of stupid things going down in value. And you've got money going in things that goes the wrong way rather than the right way. It's a math thing. It's not a Dave and Rachel thing. It's a math thing. That's what you're facing out there, folks. This is The Ramsey Show. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Ben and Angela are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hello, Dave.
Welcome. Where do you guys live?
We're from Kennewick, Washington.
Whoa, it's a bit of a trip.
Yeah, that's the sane side of the state.
You know what? Most of Washington is sane. There's a few spots, though, that offset it. Yeah, it's a lot of states have that disease nowadays.
Yes.
Well, welcome. Good to have you guys. How much debt have you paid off?
So $436,959.
Way to go. And how long did that take?
About 6 years, 1 month.
Love it. And your range of income during that 6 years and 1 month?
We started at about 140 and took a quick dip for when the Lord blessed me with a job loss, and then bumped her all the way up to a little over 300.
Good for you. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a registered nurse.
Of course.
And I help people get mortgages that are 15-year fixed rates.
Very good.
I do mortgages for a living. Yeah.
Very good. So I'm going to guess the high amount, $437, in 6 years maybe you paid off your house.
We did.
I love it.
Yeah.
Woo, weird people.
Our kids have told us we're weird for years, but now we officially are. So.
Now it's been declared on national radio.
Yes.
Oh, man. A mortgage broker with a paid-for house.
That's so crazy, huh?
I love it. Way to go. Congratulations, y'all.
Yeah.
How does it feel to have no payments?
It feels really good knowing that's one less stress in our life, but we still live below our means, and we have goals, but we're not certain what we're going to spend money on here forward. We're just kind of like, okay, what's the next goal? But we are very thankful to where we're at.
6 years of focus, and now we're like, wow. What do we do with all this? Yeah. And so we started our Next Thing Fund. We have so many things that we want to do. We couldn't decide. So we just started piling it up in every dollar under our Next Thing Fund. And I'm sure we'll figure it out pretty quick. So
I like that.
That's so fun, you guys. So you have kids?
We have 4.
Okay. What are their ages?
27 is Kylie. Jacob is 25. Hannah is 22. And Abby is 17.
Okay. So most in their 20s. And what do they think of mom and dad?
They've been our greatest supporters through all of this.
Oh.
And I think it was our goal all along to make sure our kids knew what that journey was like, and hopefully they became smart with their money as well. So
very good.
You guys are great examples.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Good modeling. Good modeling. Rachel always says more is caught than taught. Yeah, very good. So what starts you guys on this journey 6 years ago doing this Ramsey stuff?
April, tax time, we sat down and we had probably our biggest tax bill we'd ever seen. And we were sitting chatting, and we're like, we also made more than we had ever made in our working careers. And we're like, wow, how do we make so much money? Owe so much money to the IRS, and we felt like we were still living paycheck to paycheck.
We were one expense away from a disaster. I think that's how we could sum it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how long ago was that? Was that 6 years?
That was 6 years, 1 month. Yeah, I had heard of Dave, prior to that, and some of it sounded pretty cool, but I thought I was smarter. So, a mortgage guy. We'd had our, I had it moment, and we also had a situation.
How'd you get connected with us after that?
I had a coworker actually that had turned me on to you. I read the book and listened to the podcast quite a bit, and we chatted about it, probably 4 or 5 years earlier than that, and we kind of did. I don't know what you call it, Dave-ish, but we did Dave a little bit. But once we had that, I had it moment. It was all game on. It was just,
Amazing, you guys. Congratulations.
So he decides we're going to do this stuff. Angela, what'd you say?
We talked about it. Initially, I was like, I don't know if we're ever going to dig out from this mess. But we started, and I think what kept us going and the driving force was paying off the small debts and seeing them go away. And so it just kept us in that momentum. And we knew at that point that we'd get there. Wasn't easy. A lot of struggles along the way, but we made it, and so we're very thankful for that.
Wow. So what was all the other debt? Part of it was the mortgage. I guess a big chunk of it.
Yeah, so we had 2 cars and an RV for $61,000, 6 credit cards at $39,000, a big honking $78,000 student loan.
That was mine.
The IRS debt that we chatted about, 401k loan, and about $190 for the snowball. And then it took us about 3.5 years for that. And then we had about a 5 or 6 year plan on the mortgage, but the last 2 years have been super good for my business. And so we accelerated.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting, with no mortgage payment, and my business is extremely slow. So, and I would probably be freaking out right about now and thinking about, what the future would bring for us. But with no mortgage, I can don't have to worry about it. So.
Yes. Yeah, we talk about a lot on Dr. John Deloney talks about it too, that even when you owe debt psychologically, like your mind knows it's not safe because someone else has control over a part of your life.
Yep.
And there is this deep sense of peace when no one has a say over your life. You know, you truly are being able to control that. Did you guys feel that? I'm sure with the consumer debt, when that 190 was gone of the consumer debt, and then did you feel it again with the mortgage when you paid it off?
I'd say so, absolutely. I mean, we had refinanced the house and done so many home equity loans that I swear our mortgage probably contained a pizza from college or something like that. Some shoes from Sears, when they were still around. So, I've been in debt since I was 18 years old.
Wow.
When I bought my first stereo in college,
Wow.
at a little mom and pop store where you had to go in and pay cash for your payment once a month,
Yeah.
So
Wow.
so it's just
So it's an ultimate feeling for you to feel like, have you never experienced it? I mean,
Never.
since you're 18. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You ever go back?
Never.
Never.
That's
Not a
obvious.
chance.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
No.
Not once you've done what you guys have done.
No.
This is impressive. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What do you guys tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
We have a saying, it's the 3 C's: communication, commitment, and compromise. And it's really the same as keys to being married for 25 years. We celebrated our anniversary 3 days after we paid off our mortgage. So
Wow.
that was a killer celebration.
Yeah.
But communication, the budget meetings that we had, we'd never done anything like that. And it really just opened up a ton. Commitment. Commitment to each other, commitment to the plan, you're just committing to it. And there's a whole lot of compromise, when it comes to these different things, either wanting to spend money or not wanting to spend money, different priorities, especially after we hit baby step 4, 5, and 6, figuring out, how fast to go after that mortgage and still live. So
Yeah. This is the perfect time for you guys in the mortgage business because it's tough out there.
It
in
is.
the mortgage business.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
perfect timing for y'all to be free. Congratulations.
Thank
so
you.
well done.
Thank you.
Hey, we got a copy of Total Money Makeover for you in the Live and Give bundle. You can give that away and help somebody get started. The Baby Steps Millionaires book, which is the latest #1, and that's the next chapter in your story for sure. And of course, the Financial Peace University 1-year membership. And again, you can go through it, give it away, however you want to do with this stuff. It's our gift to you to say thank you for making the trip here and to say congratulations. We're proud of you.
Thank you
so much.
Well
Great job,
done.
you guys.
Very well done. Ben and Angela from the state of Washington. They did it. House and everything. $437,000 paid off in 6 years and 1 month, making $140 to $300. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Yeah! I love it. I love it. I love it. So fun. Way to go, guys. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Lamentations 3:22 and 23. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Max Lucado says God meets daily needs daily, not weekly or annually. He will give you what you need when it is needed. Yeah, Chuck Swindoll says, God is never late and seldom early.
That's true.
I love that. I get the opportunity to speak for my friend Max Licato over in San Antonio at Oak Hills in a couple of weeks. I guess it'll be a week from this Sunday. So if you don't have church plans and you're in the San Antonio area, we're going to go in a day early before our San Antonio events and things begin and get to speak there. He's been a friend a long time, and he is quite a wonderful human being, so I'm honored to get to do that. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Joe's in Jacksonville, Florida. Hi, Joe. How are you?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Well, I really need your advice, but I told my wife I did not want to call and get the public Dave Ramsey smackdown because I know I've been stupid. But I am a step 6 repeat offender because I'm a real estate addict. And every time we do our quiet, debt-free scream, I manage to go out and do stupid again and buy another rental real estate property. But the question I have is we have a mortgage I want to eliminate on step 6 again. And how much or how do we best wisely calculate our emergency fund? How deep can I go? We have the ability to pay it off, but the emergency fund for our personal income is one question. But then I guess the real question is for the rental portfolio, how much of a capital reserve do we need?
Yeah, good for you. Well, your personal is 3 to 6 months of expenses. On a business, and that's what a rental portfolio is, it's a business, you would have what we call retained earnings. And, retained earnings would go for emergencies, repairs, like, for instance, a heating and air goes out or something like that. And it would also, you would also build and calculate your retained earnings, if you're doing it well, for replacement of large items. Like, say, you've got a roof that's going to need to be replaced in 5 years. Then you want to be setting aside a fifth of that roof each year so that it doesn't sneak up on you, And so we've got a apartment complex that the parking lot's going to have to be redone, and that's a $100,000 expense or whatever it is, right? And we got 3 years to do that though, so we're going to put $33,000 aside for 3 years, that kind of a thing. So you would systematically build into your major repairs to keep you from having something quote unquote sneak up on you that shouldn't really sneak up on you, and then the second thing you would hold is just retained earnings for the totally unexpected. But how many houses have you got now?
We have 19 and about 23 different units within that.
Yeah. Have you got how long have you been doing this?
About 20 years.
I
had a career.
You probably got a pretty good set of books that you could probably look back and say, here, average per house or average per 10 houses or something. Here's what my unexpected repairs are: water heaters and heat and air, whatever else. And you've got replacement, carpet replacement, paint replacement on turnover. That's standard tenant stuff, right? Not every time you turn them over, but occasionally, every 2 or 3 times you turn them over, you're going to have to go through and hit that inside pretty hard. We do anyway, and so on. You're probably used to doing all that. I would say your P&Ls, if you look back through them, would inform your retained earnings pretty accurately. And in combination with that, I would look forward and say, what are known replacements and repairs that are large that I've got coming in the next 5 to 10 years, 3 to 10 years, and, or whatever. And let's add that in there too. And somewhere in there is going to give you a real common sense number on the retained earnings.
Okay. Our consistent experience has been about 50% of the gross revenue goes to manage and retain the business.
Yeah.
And then we cash flow about 50%.
Yeah, that doesn't sound unusual.
So if we cash flow hypothetically,
depend on the age of the properties. That if it's a newer property, it shouldn't be that high. But if these are 10-year-old, 15-year-old properties, you probably are seeing that because your heating and air starts.
So should we retain a full year's worth of expenses in reserve then?
No, I'd take six months.
Okay.
Because you've not had any cash flow. You're managing your cash already. You're joking around about you continue to go back into debt. That's a different issue, but you're already managing your cash. You've been doing this too long. You got too many properties. If you were doing it poorly, it would already knocked you off the saddle.
Yeah, I did. I want to knock out this last mortgage. I just didn't know how aggressive I could be with my reserves.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's kind of like your personal. If you take it down to $1,000 and you pay off your house, heat and air will go out the next day. So you don't want to invite Murphy to the party. So let's just let's give it a little wiggle room here and not go too aggressive. But also, you don't need a year and a half's worth of cash sitting there while you got a mortgage that you can reach over and knock out with a few months of that reserve. But it's like any other business. You can plan out your known. You get a rhythm of the emergencies once you've got enough volume like you've got. If you had 2 houses, it's harder to do. But when you got 20 and 23 units, you can start to get some averages, and you've been doing it a while, and you'll get pretty accurate on it.
So real estate for me it's a fascinating topic. I feel like even right now in our world, not just with the housing prices being up, but this is more, I feel like more than ever hearing people trying to get into real estate investing and it being part of their world. It feels like it's everywhere. And obviously, Joe's been doing this for a long time, but do you feel like there's been a surge of that too versus 10 years ago?
Yeah, there was really last spring we talked about it a lot. There was a real move, and you could feel it in social media, and you could feel it with Gen Z. There was this move of get rich quick real estate pop back up, which kind of was like making real estate cool again.
Yeah, so talk to everyone about the wisest way to do it, because we teach cash, but a lot of people are like, that's impossible. There's no way I could get in.
Not impossible.
To the market.
You just got to have the cash. It's not impossible at all. You got to wait till you have the cash. And it's so what it amounts to is to buy that first property. If you're buying houses, for example, and let's say you're going to buy a $200,000 rental property, which is not that unusual in a lot of cities. Some of your cities, that's not possible, but just call it that. And you go, okay, I'm going to save $40,000 a year for 5 years. It takes a little while to get the first one. But when you get the first one, then you've got the cash flow off of that, and you got no payments. And so you could throw that at this savings for the next one. And by the time you've got 3 or 4, pretty quickly you can buy a house a year off of the income from the houses, that kind of a thing. So it snowballs in a good way. That way, the snowball rolls over and over. And that's how we did it.
Right.
We first bought houses, and then 2008 hit, and I was sitting on a bunch of cash, and we got into a bunch of commercial at pennies, at 15 cents on the dollar. It was ridiculous. So the weird thing is, if you'll be patient, get yourself in a cash position, you'll find deals, and you'll find the market slows, and there's a moment in time where you can jump in. I've been in the real estate business 30 plus years in one way or another, and I've never seen anything as good as that 2008 was. It was wonderful for buying.
Yeah.
Because we were buying at pennies on the dollar. And I don't know that I'll ever see it again, but made a lot of money that year, 2 years, really. That puts this hour in the books. Thanks to Rachel Cruz, my co-host, Austin, Ben, Zach, Andrew, and James in the booth dudes. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz, co-host on The Ramsey Show. If you want to do your debt-free scream live on the show, visit RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream. We'd love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story. That's RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream.